Hi everybody, welcome back. Today we are going to be checking in on our worm farm starter kit. These are the ones that I sell here. First things first, let's look inside of this lid. You can see that condensation straight away. This bin has been opened, but I haven't been digging around or anything. I just checked to make sure that the moisture was good, and I had a sneak peek in here. There you go. You can see there's a worm right there. Let's see what's going on with this. Seems to be good. But yeah, so I have not actually been rummaging around. The moisture level is great in here. As you guys know, this is just a small worm farm starter kit. Seems like the worms have been going at this coffee filter, which I placed on top there. Let's just check their bedding. So the moisture level seems to be great. The worms, there's only 50 worms in here, but I'm surprised to see them in the corner here, because I had actually, if you remember, we had buried this banana, and under this banana was some leaves of lettuce from the garden. You can see the banana starting to go brown. They haven't really been into the banana, which is weird. I thought they would have gone into that. They've not really eaten the lettuce either. That's interesting. Oh, they've had some of it. There were a few, I think 3 or 4 leaves of lettuce here. That frisee lettuce, and it's not much there now. I do have to admit though, I had added some worm chow into this bin as well, if you remember, on top, and they have come from a bin that has predominantly been fed worm chow. It hasn't really had much apart from the time that it had the pumpkin. Maybe it's just too much food. I mean, that's one of the worms. There was 50 worms in here that got counted out. The moisture level's not too bad. And worms on the side. I would have thought they would have been more into that banana, to be honest. Definitely some of the lettuce is gone, but I purposefully split that banana open for them to let them have a go. So I'm a little bit perplexed, and I haven't been rummaging around in here all week, purposefully, just to make sure that I don't disturb them and let them get acquainted to their new habitat. So I'm not disheartened. They just come from a bed that's been predominantly fed with the worm chow, but I thought they would have been all over that banana. The moisture level's great. There's water in here, so I'm just going to turn that back over, put this down, and it's going to go back on the shelf. I currently have some guests from overseas, and I haven't had much time to spend on this. So what I did was I missed a feeding for one day, and I came back, I fluffed it up, and I gave them a good feeding of worm chow directly under this. And before I put the worm chow down, I had given quite a substantial amount of water to this bin because it was starting to dry out. It wasn't dry as in like dry dirt, but it was drier than what it should be, what the worms should like it to be, and a lot of the castings and stuff were sticking to the worms, just because they didn't have enough moisture in them. And I gave it quite a heavy feeding, and then I gave another heavy watering on top of this paper here. So just want to see what's been going on. Well, that feeding is completely gone, and it was quite a big. It covered the top of this. No worms or cocoons on this paper. can see some worms on the top there. There's one here, one here, one just there. Oh, the moisture level is much better in this now. So I wanted to, I am going to just dig down because I want to check the moisture levels on the bottom of this bin as well. Nice. Yeah, perfect. Absolutely perfect. The moisture level is great. I'm really happy with that. I've had these in this bin now for 5 weeks, and almost 5 weeks. And I was just thinking, as I've got a lot of bedding in here, and as they had a lot of bedding in here to begin with, I didn't know when I should start to do a periodic dry out of this bin to be able to harvest some of the castings. So I thought, as there was quite a lot of bedding in here, I'd let it run for another month at least before I started to dry out portions of it, to try and remove some of these castings. But these guys seem happy now. The moisture level's great. The worms are happy. There's loads of worms everywhere. You can see as I'm sort of turning them over. Because there is no pumpkin or watermelon or anything, there's no wet food in here. There's no worm balls per se. But I am getting really good. They don't favour one side or the other. They're actually all throughout this bin, which is really nice and really promising. And obviously there's lots of different sizes in here. And I keep finding little wisps, which tells me that, you know, there are cocoons and there's worms hatching in here all the time. And I've started to, now that I've started looking for the cocoons, I've started to find some. And in saying that, let me see if I can see any. Usually when I'm looking for them, I can't find them. And they're quite dark. And I'm blind as a bat, which does not help. I have noticed that I've started to get mites now in this bin. Oops. Let me try and get rid of the worms in here and then see if we can see the mites moving around. Yeah, you can see them moving around. I'm not really bothered about it, to be honest, but they're there. And I can't see any cocoons, but they're there. Everything seems to be happy, including myself. I'm going to give these guys another feeding now. I'll just check my gloves to make sure there's no wisps on there. No, we're good. Okay. While I'm doing this, I just want to thank everybody who's watching. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. And ring that notification bell so you can get notified of when I post new videos. If you want to buy me a coffee, there's a link below to buy me a cup of coffee. If you don't want to buy me coffee, no bad. You can buy me a whiskey or a beer. Please hit the like button. That just really helps with the algorithms and all that jazz. So I'm going to give these guys another healthy feeding. And even if you don't want to, no problem. I just appreciate you being here and watching. It's really, it's nice when I see the video viewed count go up. It just means that people are really appreciating, or at least watching the videos and gaining something out of it. So I'm giving these guys another heavy feeding today, only because I have my son coming tomorrow, and I have, like I said, I've got guests here. And I'm supposed to be putting together a barbecue. Cool. So that's a heavy feed. I'm going to leave it at that. I will check back again next week regarding this this worm farm kit. The worms seem to be happy. I just think they need to get used to eating a banana, maybe. I have no idea. It might be something... Maybe they're just waiting for the chlorophyll to break down on the banana skin, something like that, I'm not sure. Anywho, that is that. Thank you again, and I hope to see you guys soon.